All right, you guys. Now we're just a few days away from the matchup on HBO pay-per-view that will see Gennady Golovkin and David Lemieux unify the middleweight titles. Now, in a year that has kind of been up and down in terms of pay-per-view fights really coming through, and I'm mentioning that Mayweather-Pacquiao pay-per-view, this fight is one that I feel really personally that won't disappoint. You got Gennady Golovkin, a guy that has like 20-something consecutive knockouts. You have David Lemieux, who's just about knocked out almost every single person in his career. Both guys come forward. This fight is going to deliver. And now on top of that, you got Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez going up against Brian Valoria. This is a huge night of boxing. If you're a real boxing fan, this is something you don't want to miss. I'm here at the theater where today both Gennady Golovkin and David Lemieux spoke on this pay-per-view matchup. So let's go ahead and hear from them.
We'd like to welcome everyone to our final press conference of Fight Week for the main event. It's been an exciting promotion ever since we first announced the fight. When Oscar and I were doing all the interviews to announce the fight, it's just been a great promotion. When you have two world champions fighting each other, the two biggest punchers in the middleweight division fighting each other, with everything to risk. It's really what the fans and the media respond to. And we've seen it with the ticket sales. We've seen it with all the articles written about the fight. We hope you all write a lot more articles between now and then, but it's been a tremendous ride. I'd like to thank, first and foremost, Madison Square Garden, Joel Fisher and his entire staff for hosting this event. We couldn't have had a better partner to work with on the arena side. Oscar and his staff at Golden Boy Promotions have been tremendous in helping co-promote this fight. David and his manager, Camille Estefan, I want to definitely acknowledge them, and certainly Gennady and his entire team with his manager, Oleg Herman, sitting here. It's really, when you have this type of cooperation, that's what makes it a special fight. Not only do you have the two fighters in the ring, but everyone working together behind the scenes. Also like to thank Mark Taffet and his entire staff at HBO. An event like this, without the support of HBO and it being on HBO pay-per-view, is something that wouldn't be possible. And the entire marketing plan that they've devised to support the event is really, really tremendous. The event will be, it's really an international event, even though it's on the biggest stage here at Madison Square Garden at the world's most famous arena. It's really an international event. Gennady being from Kazakhstan, David being from Canada, a lot of the fighters on the undercard being from various countries. It's an international event. It'll be in over 120 countries. So this is really a mega event. For the lucky fans that'll be here, it'll have over 20,000 people in the arena, but for the fans being here live, it's a special feeling for them and an atmosphere, but it's also on a worldwide stage. Many of you probably have seen the Apple Watch commercial that Gennady was involved with. That brought a whole different dimension to the promotion. That's something different than what we had originally announced for the fight, and it's I'd like to thank them for their support as far as that's an important key for Gennady breaking over to the mainstream. These type of events wouldn't be possible without the people behind the scenes. I'd just like to take a moment to thank everyone from our side at K2, Erica St. Philip, Roy Engelbrecht, Melissa Moskow, Joan Hornauer, Torsten Meyer, Gennady's legal representative, Ron DiNicola. They've all helped me. I'm standing up here, but they're the ones behind the scenes. And I'd also like to acknowledge, not only does Gennady and David, they're perfect dance partners for this type of promotion, but Golden Boy Promotions is the perfect dance partner to complement our efforts to make this a successful fight. From Oscar, Bernard, Eric, Monica, everyone at Golden Boy has been terrific to work with, and we really appreciate their efforts. So with that, I'd like to bring up Oscar and Golden Boy.
Let me, thank you, Tom. let me just say and start off by saying what a beautiful country we live in, right? I mean, the US of A. Only in the US can you have a fighter from Canada, a fighter from Kazakhstan, a fighter from Nicaragua, a fighter from Hawaii, a fighter from, where else? Cuba, and sell out the Garden. I mean, what a beautiful country, and the people that live in it, you know? That's what it's all about. God bless the US of A. And let me tell you one thing. I had the other day, I think about 6 of my relatives, all women, watching this fight because of this man here, you know. I mean, we're attracting the world with this fight. This is an international event with 2 international fighters, 2 champions, 2 middleweights, giving you the best fight that you can possibly watch on October 17th, live on HBO pay-per-view, the best network by far for boxing. You know, I've been involved in some of the biggest pay-per-view events in boxing history, and we've had the pleasure to promote most of them. And to me personally, this feels like a mega event. Not only because the Garden is selling out, you know, you can feel the electricity, you can feel the energy, but because casual fans are asking about this fight, my Mexican relatives are asking about this fight. You know, you have Triple G, who loves fighting the Mexican style, you know, and you have David Lemieux, who I think is almost practically Mexican, you know. We are really, really excited and honored to be promoting such an event. And I want to thank everyone at Golden Boy Promotions for making this possible. Tom Loeffler, thank you very much for the opportunity. Team Triple G, David Lemieux. This is going to be one of those fights where, and it's been a long time, where you're at the edge of your seat, whether it's at the Garden, whether it's at home watching on pay-per-view, you're at the edge of your seat cheering on for the best man. You know, it's been a while. It's been a long time since we've seen one of those events, one of those fights. And we're actually very, very proud to be putting on a card from top to bottom where you have great fights. You have the future of boxing, the next generation. The last generation was okay. This is the fight game. This is the entertainment game. This is what you have all been waiting for on October 17th. Yes, we are. We are going to get a war. We are going to get a real fight. So on that note, I would like to introduce to you and call up to the podium a young man who knows what the fight game is all about. He knows what being an underdog is all about. I believe he fought Felix Trinidad here at the Garden a few years back, and he was 15-1 and pulled off the biggest upset in recent years. He's a man who defended his middleweight world title a record 20 times. He is a legend. And he is my partner at Golden Boy Promotions, Bernard Hopkins. Bernard.
Thanks, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Lemieux and also Triple G for willing and able and wanting to fight this fight, because we know it starts with the fighters first. And so I'd like to say to you, man, you know, congratulations for standing up for what you believe in, yourself, and also David. Without y'all two, no matter what the business is behind the scenes, if two fighters don't want to fight, we all know fight don't happen. But I wanted to say that first. And also I want to do a little house cleaning and just let everybody know that, you know, HBO is our family and we're HBO's family, and we made a commitment to y'all that we want to not only work with any promoter that wants to work and has the same vision that we have and was good for the fans, and of course was good for the fans, is good for boxing. Well, this is not to actually pat ourselves on the back too soon. I want you to judge us as time go on. Judge us as time go on, from fight after fight, super fight, big fight, preliminary fights. We want to give y'all the best on our side, and hopefully with people with the same mentality, whether it's the networks, which is HBO, who's already on board, as you see, and other people that has fighters that want to bring into that type of mindset and put theirs up against the best on our end. But let me tell you about the chills that I get being in the great Madison Square Garden, the middleweight unification. And we know in boxing, unification is really rare. 14, if my math is correct, plus years ago, we had that. And nobody knows when they're going to check out of this life, but a lot of people in this room don't want to wait 14 more years. They might not have it in them. So you get a chance to see this every 10, 14, 20 years because of the politics. And I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Things don't happen like they should for the sake of the sport. But nevertheless, we're here to rescue some of that behavior. And we have it. This Saturday on HBO pay-per-view, you have two guys that don't need to repeat over and over every time someone get up here how much they can punch. I think y'all convinced by that just by the record. But it's a chill in the air, because one thing about Madison Square Garden that haven't been mentioned up to now, there are some strange things that happen in this garden. Y'all know. There are some things that happen in this garden that you can never say never. And I know that we have a guy on our side that believes he can win. But he also respects Triple G to understand that he has to be not good, not so-so. He has to be near, if not perfect. And Triple G is not a guy that underestimates anybody either. Look the way he fights. He's a hunter. He's not used to getting hunted, if y'all paid attention and know the sweet science of boxing. He's a hunter. And so I won't reveal what you do to a hunter, because hunters normally have a gun. In our case, we carry two. You have to disarm those two guns, and let's fight. So in saying that, enjoy the fight. The press did a great job. I've been paying attention, and I know how to read well. And let me tell you, we need more of this. We're together, y'all. We have our own mission, our own agenda, but we are really together. Everybody works together because we have really a commercial interest to write the best, to outdo your competition, because everyone have good, healthy competition sometimes, and we have our duty to do. So like I said a long time ago, early in this year, when it was big question mark on the bullseye backs of my partner, my friend, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy itself, we set out to put the best fights starting from that day of the speech that you heard from that man, one of the greats. We just showing you what we said and what we promised. And so if y'all, our caretakers, to watch us say and do what we say, then keep watching and keep writing the truth. Not the soap opera gossip and watch these two men come Saturday, unify something that's not only personal to me, but special because it built my legacy to be right in the Hall of Fame off of one ballot once that day come. So respect the champions, respect the great event, promote it that way, write it that way, and that's all I'm asking for. Have a great time, and hopefully it'll be the show that we're promoting.
Next, I'm pleased to introduce to you today Camille Estefan, Eye of the Tiger Management, and he is the manager of David Lemieux.
Hello, everyone. What more to be said about a fantastic show that's coming up on the 17th? Just so happy to know that it's a great, great week for boxing. This will be talked about for ages to come, this fight. It's a war. And I want to echo the thanks to everybody involved, Madison Square Garden, their staff. A big thank you for the wonderful job in hosting this great event. HBO, Mark Taffet, Ken Hirschman, and Peter Nelson for putting this together and promoting it the way only HBO knows how to do. K2 Promotions, Triple G Promotions, and a special thank you for Golden Boy, Oscar, Bernard, Eric, wonderful people and true friends to boxing and all their staff. Eye of the Tiger staff, specifically at the helm, is David Lemieux for being who he is. We are here for a conquest. I love the show, it's great, but honestly, my full attention is about making sure we win these belts. We're gonna go back home with these belts. We've done our homework, and then some. David is ready. This is a very special moment because it's the culmination of a lot of effort for many years. We built it a day at a time. We have not been getting ready for Golovkin for a few weeks. We have been getting ready for a few years. I know we're underdogs. You know, don't underestimate us. The proof is in the pudding. Saturday night, we'll be talking after this fight with all these belts. We're very confident that you're going to have an amazing show throughout the card. And I want to congratulate Mark Ramsey, who is the engineer that has engineered this conquest, and invite him to come up to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who put the piece of the puzzle together to make sure that we're going to have that great fight Saturday, HBO, K2, Eyes of Tigers Management, Golden Boy. The two fighters, for sure, like they agree to fight each other. We just came back from a tough but very successful training camp where every single objective that we fixed was reached. It was a tough training camp in the sense that you have to get prepared for everything that guys like Gennady Golovkin can bring to the ring. I saw David Lemieux raise his boxing to a level that I never saw before. We had that kind of perfect training camp with no problem, no injury, nothing. And we have no excuse for Saturday, only promises of victory. And I just wish the boxing fans a great show Saturday. Thank you.
With that, I'd like to introduce the Triple G side. I'd like to recognize Oleg Herman as Gennady's manager. He's been very supportive of all the plans that we've established for Gennady and is really the person that I coordinate with as far as the strategy for the marketing and building Gennady's career, not only here in the United States, but also internationally, because that's really the plan, is building a global star in Gennady. I'd like to introduce the person behind Gennady's Mexican style, the person who's taken a terrific amateur fighter from the Soviet school of amateur boxing and made him one of the most efficient and aggressive, I can't say boxing machines because machines break, right, Gennady? But he's really the mad scientist behind Gennady's professional style and the reason why Gennady has 20 knockouts in a row right now. I'd like to bring up Abel Sanchez.
Good afternoon. I know it's been said, but I'd like to personally thank the Garden and their staff, HBO, David and his team, Bernard and Oscar, obviously our team. And I look forward to matching boxing smarts with Mark Ramsey, who I think is an exceptional coach. I look forward to watching these two guys battle it out in the ring and look for an explosive fight. I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed. Thank you.
So with that, I'd like to bring up the voice of boxing. Nobody does it better, and it's not a big-time event without Michael Buffer announcing it. So I'd like to bring up Michael to bring up the two champions.
Thank you, Tom. You know, this fight has everything. It's just a dream situation for the fans, and I am a fan. And I get to introduce a lot of great people in a lot of great different sports, and especially boxing, of course. And it's always a privilege to do that. And one of the things that adds to this event is the participation of, right here on the stage, it's a middleweight fight, and you have two of the greatest middleweights. Of course, Oscar stopped for a cup of coffee with the WBO title in the middleweight division, but a Hall of Fame fighter and future Hall of Fame fighter with Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins. As a fan, that's worth it just to be here, and it's very exciting for me. But right now we're in the theater at the MSG, and Saturday night we moved to the big room at the greatest venue in the world for sports and entertainment, recognized as the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City, USA. And we have two middleweight fighters. It's a unification fight. Two champions, champion versus champion, who are known for speaking with their fists. So at this time, we're going to have them come up here and speak in a more traditional manner. First of all, let me bring up to the stage, Mesdames et Messieurs. He comes to us from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 34 victories, 31 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning and defending IBF middleweight champion of the world, David Lemieux.
Wow. Hello, New York. I couldn't be more proud to be here. I couldn't be prouder to be here today. I came a long way, you know. I'm not going to talk to you about camp, because I think everybody knows, it's obvious that at our level, we are going to be at our best. The fighters right now, I'm at my best shape. I'm sure Golovkin's at his best shape. It's going to be history in the making, but I'm going to tell you about where I come from. I come from far. You know, I faced a lot of victories. I faced defeat, and nothing is more exciting and more gratifying than a beautiful victory, such as I'm planning on Saturday. You know, this is what dreams are made of. Fighters fighting at a filled-up Madison Square Garden. I couldn't be more happy to be where I am here today. I came a long way. I've done a lot of changes in my life. And right now, I know all of what I've done in the past is where I'm supposed to be here today. And I'm ready for this. And I'm ready for a spectacular night in front of the world. We're at this great city, New York, at the Madison Square Garden. Extremely proud to be here. And I'm not here to play. I'm here to make history. And I've done everything it takes in the gym to make sure that when I leave the Madison Square, I don't leave empty-handed. I leave with them belts. I work extremely hard. I'm extremely confident in myself, in my team. I have great people around me. I have a great manager, Camila Stefan. I have a great promoter, Eric Gomez, Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready for everything. I heard Golovkin say if he wants a street fight, it'll be a street fight. If he wants 12 rounds, it'll be 12 rounds. He wants knockout. Hey, as much as whatever you want, I want it too. So let's see who's the best. Let's see who's going to leave this place with all them belts. I promise one thing, that it's going to be a night to remember for the world and for boxing. This is a great event. I'm in extremely great shape. I couldn't be more proud to be here, and I couldn't be more ready for this victory. So thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Well, let's bring up David's opponent at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, Dame Gospoda. He comes to us from Kazakhstan, fights and trains out of California, USA, up in Big Bear. And he is the holder of an undefeated record, a perfect record, 33 fights, 33 victories, 30 wins by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending WBC mandatory, the WBA and IBO middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Triple G Golovkin.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here again. This is my second home. Madison Square Garden, I have a lot of fights here. Thank you special for family Madison. It's an amazing team, amazing family. Of course, thank you very much to HBO pay-per-view for support, for intention, because it's the biggest day to people and for us. Thank you for promotions. It's a good deal. Golden Boy, Respect Oscar and Bernard, and K2 promotions. It's amazing deal for us. We have 4 belts, unification fight, and pay-per-view. Wow. I'm very excited this day. First of all, I'm a boxer. Please welcome Madison Square Garden, October 17, biggest day for us, for people, for TV. Thank you.